Hello, hello. Welcome to Meditation Nerd. This is a very late night naked pause. I had something else planned. Um, I'm reading mindfulness, and it's bringing up a lot of stuff. I was going to speak about a couple things, and none of it felt right or aligned. So I have a lot of inner resistance that's coming up, a lot of things that feel very heavy. So I thought we could sit with that because that is also part of the practice. And I don't want to dismiss it. I don't want to just power through. I don't want to just rush past it. It feels like it has pertinence to what's happening. So that's what we're going to be focusing on this evening. So it will be a shorter naked pause. This isn't meant to be a dwelling session. It's meant to be an acknowledgement of where we currently feel, how the body's feeling emotionally, mentally, spiritually. It's also a check in with our practice as a whole, of course. Um, so I don't want to, this isn't meant to be a dwelling session, like I said, it's meant to be check in. And there might be answers that show up, there might not be. Creating space for us to acknowledge the heaviness alongside the elevation, the empowerment that our practice brings is just as important in my humble estimation and within my own practice. It's very important for me that I allow that as well because it's part of the practice. At least it's always been a part of mine. So I want to make space for that. So I'm not going to tune in. I'm just going to go ahead and close my eyes. You're welcome to join me. You can keep your eyes open or soften your gaze. I'm in a meditative posture upright on my chair. I'm in easy pose. If you're in a chair and you don't want to be in easy pose, full or partial lotus, keep both your feet firmly on the ground. Or feel free to just lay if that helps you connect to your body better. And then just settle in and notice what arises in your body. And of course, always with your boundaries, please honor those. Don't go too heavily in areas that may not need or want that awareness. Maybe you can kind of skirt across the top of it, aware of, sore spots that maybe are better or safer handled in therapy or, you know what I mean? Please honor your boundaries. I'm currently working with a lot of heaviness and a lot of heat, and that is really zapping a whole lot of energy for me. I've also got like some sluggish emotionalness that's translating into sluggish thoughts, along with some sharp jabs of anxiety. So that's nice. And it's all wrapped in this lovely little encasing of pressure. So that's interesting. And then I'm just asking myself, what do I need now? How can I help in this moment? How can I allow more ease? And I am intentionally deepening my breath because I have a tendency to shorten my breath, especially when I feel stressed. I don't breathe very deeply. So I am deliberately focusing on deep breaths. Please check in with yourself if that's something that you would like to test as well. Make sure that that's something that is not going to be traumatizing for you or cause any discomfort. And maybe it's not so much like a complete deepening, maybe it's just deeper than you're allowing. It's deeper than a shallow breath, but not so deep that it causes discomfort. There are always ways to adapt. There are always ways that you can healthily test, right? Just as a reminder, in case anyone needed to hear that. And then we'll just take a couple more deep breaths here, noticing what's going on. And then I'm just going to say Sat Nam as an honor to the practice itself. And then I did notice a bit of an opening, at least at the front of my body, sort of like third eye to about navel kind of opened up a little bit. There's more ease. There's a little bit more flexibility, a little bit more breathability, feels a little bit lighter while I've still got some tension and heaviness on my back. So a little bit of a shift. I didn't get quote unquote answers. It did help me personally to ask what I need. That's not something I make a habit of. So I think just the act of asking, okay, what do I need right here? How can I help? Right? That reassures myself, my nervous system, that I'm here for this, that I'm available, I'm listening. What do I need? That added a little bit more ease. It offered a little bit of an opening, right? So, something that I do want to point out here with this style of practice, when I first started it, I didn't normally have that, where the easing would be more like on the fringes, where it felt like it was a little bit lighter, kind of around my body, just not inward. And I felt very frustrated by that because it felt like I wasn't making enough progress. It wasn't doing it fast enough. It wasn't easing quickly enough. Because when I first came to meditation, it was out of desperation. I could not carry anymore. So I wanted that to clear and clear quickly. The issue is that sometimes when you clear too quickly, that can cause more harm than actually help. So this this little session for me, the little bit of an opening can be interpreted many different ways, right? It can be, oh, that's great for her. I'm not having that experience. Or it could also be, well, that doesn't sound great. That's only a tiny bit of opening. So to put that in context, I'm working with what's happening. So I started out of desperation with meditation and rush, 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 right? I want immediate relief. I want immediate ease. I need help now, right here, clear it all. To now, I'm more appreciative of the fact that I'm a bit obstinate when it comes to certain things. So I don't, I won't allow myself to heal quicker than I need to. I'm not just gonna delete all of this because for me personally, that's gonna cause way more harm. I'm not ready for all that. So as disappointing as that is, as much as I wish that was not the case, I've settled into acceptance that that is a very healthy guardrail for myself. So that being said, if you are experiencing something along this spectrum where maybe you're shitting all over yourself like I did, this should be happening faster, this should be creating more ease, should, right? Or maybe you're on the other end of the spectrum where you're like, well, that's not good enough, that tiny bit isn't enough, it's that's just a small whatever, right? That's really good data for where you are and how you're coming at yourself. So flag these things, not as self recriminations, not as judgment, as a way to notice how you talk to yourself. And I had to kind of reverse engineer that when I first started because I wasn't paying attention to that, right? And these are some of the ways that I did that. This practice also, I want to, when I don't feel sure and I do feel a lot of heaviness, there's an inner resistance, there's, blah, all of these things. I want to actually spend time with that now. I've progressed to a place where, yes, it's so heavy. Yes, I'm still like, ugh, bleh, really? There's still that as well. There's also this new respect for it as as a part of the practice. So I just kind of wanted to call those things out, not as how do I want to finish that? More is an elevating factor, not a bypassing factor. Sometimes it is frustrating the pace that our practice can take, right? And there are periods where you feel like you're slogging. At least for me, that I have had periods where I felt like I was slogging through the practice. Like I hit these heavy periods and then either I'm repeating or it feels like I'm repeating the same patterns or it feels like I just keep hitting this wall and there's no shift, right? Um, this feels similar to those past experiences in my practice for me. So instead of approaching it how I have before, I'm creating the space to sit with it and go, all right, well, you know what? How about we open a dialogue here? Self, how do I help? I don't want to run into a wall. I don't want to feel frustrated that I'm repeating cycles that I already know how they end. So, how about we do a dialogue this time? How can I help? What do I need here? So, that's what this is. This is me having a dialogue with myself. It's opening the space for myself and my practice because I do see my practice as a relationship with myself. It's That's what meditation is for me. It is an organic relationship. So that's part of what I wanted to share tonight. Feel free to let me know what part of this works for you, what part aligns, and then other aspects that don't, right? Maybe there's some neutral spots that you'd like clarification on or something that doesn't make sense. Feel free to drop those in the comments. I'd love to hear what works, what doesn't, what feels neutral, that type of thing. So I just wanted to sit with the resistance. I didn't want to skip over it as far as what can or cannot be shared on Meditation Nerd. I do want to be able to share this part of my practice as well because as I said, this is equally important. The elevation is just as important as the slog. So just wanted to include that. It is important and it's my way of showing respect for my practice as an organic relationship in totality, including the yuck factors. So that's all I have for you today. I hope you found this helpful. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time.